So here we go again. So this is the photo for today's article, and it's on the time.com website, and it's about body image. So I just asked you guys, do you want to, do you guys want to talk about this picture a little bit? I could talk about it a little bit, and then we could move on. Or what do you think about this photo? Giuseppe, maybe?
Yeah, I think mm, uh, the photographer took this photo in a swimming pool because I think this black line is
Mm,
um, the limit or the of swimming pool lane and yeah, I don't know the technique he or she used because I think it is more a shadow than a
mm,
body.
mm.
But I don't know.
Tricky.
Yeah,
Mm. Michael, any comments about this photo? I don't know. I don't know anything
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, it's it's definitely in a pool. It was
Mm,
definitely in a pool. Yeah, I see the silhouette of or the shadow of
mm,
human body, someone who rests in the swimming pool. Mm,
mm.
uh, Maybe, of course, it's in summer, maybe because it looks like it's open pool, not in, I don't know how to explain. It's open in air, open on
Open
air.
air. I've got you. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think Michael agrees that probably this silhouette is a woman silhouette because of the shape of the hip
Mm.
and yeah.
body. Yeah,
Yes. And maybe slight wideness across the chest here. Perhaps even. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. Very good. And it is fairly bright. It's not a dull photograph. So yes, you do get that feeling it's outdoors in the summer. Yeah, definitely that feeling. And so I liked how you said silhouette, Michael. I like that because this is very much looks like a silhouette, doesn't it? An outline of a person. You don't see any features, face, feet, belly button, nothing like that. And I think you said, Giuseppe, this was the lane marker, this line up here, on top of towards the
Mhm.
top of the photo. And that, yeah, I hadn't noticed that really. So it looks like a lane. But if you think, but also, what struck me also was that we have these sort of ripples coming out from where the hand seems to be, sort of like a sort of circles of ripples here and circles of ripples here. So it's as if the hands are in the water already, because you couldn't get these ripples without something being in the water there and then. I guess it is the hands. But where is the person? Where do we see that? We can't physically see the hands. It seems like they're just a shadow and they're not actually in the water. The only thing I can think of is that the photographer is in the water but below where the person is jumping in. So this is a really, really clever photo. That's what really struck me about this because we don't see any of the features of the person. This is just a shadow, and yet the hands seem to be in the water. So as I say, the cameraman must be lower in the water than the person is above. So they actually must be just in the process of entering the water. It just blows my mind, that photo. It must have been so difficult to get. So well done. That's very good. I like that. I like it was a little bit disturbing and confusing. So I like in the middle of her body, you can see the individual tiles that make up the bottom of the swimming pool. These are like the individual tiles here, I think. And these sort of circles are like ripples coming out from her hand. I said, okay, let's go over to the article. Let's get going. Oh, so it's just a few days ago. It was written, so how I learned to love my body, especially in the summer. And it's a Getty's image by Matt Silvan. Mari Andrew is the writer or contributor, it calls her here. And it says that she's a writer, artist, and speaker based in New York. Sit. The what is missing. I don't know why. I think they're being funny. So let me just get rid of that little thing there. Oh, that wrong button. I should have kept that. Hit the wrong button there. I should have hit bottom. Missed it again. Try again. So I'm trying to get rid of this thing that's floating in the way. There we go. I can see everything now. So here we go. So over to you, Giuseppe. You came in first. So there is a day it starts, if you fancy. Okay.
There is a day we New Yorkers quietly celebrate that we don't have a name for. It's the morning when I can feel the earth peel back her blanket and stretch out for the first time in months. For once, she doesn't have to reach for a sweater to throw over her nightgown. She might even step outside to greet the day. I do the same, stepping outside to bask in the symphony of new sounds. The silly flaps of sandals against the pavement, the no-nonsense buzz of a bee hard at work, the crunch of a bunny snaking on wildflowers. No, that's me getting carried away. There are no bunnies in my industrial part of Brooklyn, but it is the first kiss of summer. If you live in Bear Country and not Brooklyn, the warm months are signaled and not with sundress debuts and iced coffee orders, but with the grumbles and growls of furry beasts who have emerged from hibernation.
Yes. Good. Very good. Very good. Okay. So anything you'd like to want to ask about that or anything? Any new words?
Yes.
So we're missing.
I think nightgown is the kind of pajamas or something, or but I'm not sure.
It's something like that, yes. My idea of a nightgown might be different to what they think it is. Let's quickly have a look here at the dictionary. So I think a nightgown is something where you've got out of bed and it's a little bit colder out of bed and you quickly slip on something on top of your pajamas. So it sort of goes with your pajamas, but goes on top of them when you're out, just getting out of bed. Perhaps in the middle of the night to have a glass of water, or when you get up in the first thing in the morning to go to work or something, to get ready to go to work. So a nightgown is a sort of loose dress that a woman or girl wears in bed. So I'm wrong here. So I mix authentic pieces with designer and wear nightgowns over my swimwear. That's confusing. So swimwear, which is wearing a nightdress. Nightgown. Okay. Oh, here we go. So it does mean what I said, but it's actually obsolete. No one uses that anymore. So I was correct, but it's out of date. I'm sorry to say. So yes, from what it says here. It's now something that you wear in bed. It's basically pajamas. You were right, actually. Just happy when you said that.
Yeah.
Anything else at all? I scroll up a little bit.
Yeah, in the last paragraph there is sundress with in the second line of the last paragraph with exactly, sundress.
Let's copy that, pop it in the dictionary. My idea might be different to theirs, I think. Sundress. So a dress for hot weather that exposes the shoulders, arms and back, especially one with straps over the shoulders. So the esp just means especially. So a dress you wear in the summer or in the sun.
Mhm.
but it's not very common. So they've got these little dots here, or pellets we might call them, and it's only one rather than sort of two, three, or four, or five. And one means it's quite rarely used. It's a rare. So this is a writer using a rarish word, but you can sort of guess the meaning, couldn't you? Really, I suppose. Um, I think when you said that word, it's sort of a French word. So let's pop it into the dictionary. Now we've got the dictionary open. Pop it in there. Listen to how they say it. So I would say debuts. Debuts. Let's listen to them. As an American debut.
Debut.
Debut. Well, it's plural art one, so listen to their one.
Debut.
Debut. Okay, and debuts.
Debuts.
Debuts. Okay. Slightly different to me, isn't it? So do you want to just say that word again? Do you just want to say that word then? This. If I say it for you.
Debut.
Debut. You want to just say that, Giuseppe?
Debut.
Debut. Yeah, that's it. So it means the debut is of a performance or sports player is their first public performance appearance or
Mhm.
recording. So the very first time something happens, you might say, or a person, a performer performs something. Debut. Anything else there?
Yeah, I think grumbles and growls,
Oh
they
yeah,
resemble the sounds of
yeah,
animals after the hibernation. Yeah.
yeah. That's it. Furry beasts. Yeah. And they exactly it. So a bear. It mentioned bear somewhere, didn't it? I think. Did I hear that bear or no? Yeah, bear.
Yeah.
That says so. That's a bear. That's the big sort of animal that you don't really want to meet one because they can be quite dangerous in America. There's polar bears which are white, and there's brown and there's black bears. They're in America, or the sort of the states of America. But they tend to be in the sort of the hilly, cold or coldish and the mountainous areas. Tree covered areas, really. Not in cities, really, on the whole. Um, Grizzly. So they're sometimes called grizzly bears. One calls grizzly, and so grizzly, grumbles, and growls. They're all the same sort of idea in a sense, in that you can say that somebody is rather grizzly in the morning, or you're either grizzly in the morning, or you're grumbling a lot in the morning, or some other time of the day. Or a human might make a growl, ugh, something like that maybe. So they're sort of using, but also you can attribute these to animals too, as well as humans. These sounds or these words, I should say. Anything else there?
Mm. No.
There's nothing with the stop, is there?
Mhm.
No. So what is it? What do you think it means when it's saying the no nonsense buzz of a bee hard at work? How would you explain that, maybe? The no nonsense buzz of a bee hard at work.
I think she wants to mean kind of mm, mm, I don't know, maybe useful or meaningful or maybe
Yes, I think so.
buzz of a bee. So
Mm.
actually we think that is a nonsense noise in the air when we hear the buzz of a bee, but in spring or in summer, it is kind of finalistic behavior, and so it is nonsense. So it's a way to describe
Yes,
it's
yes.
the job of bees.
Yes, that's it. It's just a nice way of describing the sound that the bees are making. It's more just the sound I think it's talking about here, isn't
Mm,
it? No nonsense buzz. So the buzz is really talking about the sound of the bee. The buzz, that's the buzz of the bee, isn't it? Their wings flapping so fast. So no nonsense just means pretty much what it sounds, in the sense that no messing around, just doing the job, what that's required. Yeah, so no nonsense means practical, straightforward, serious, with a focus on efficiency. Yeah, people tend to think of bees as being very efficient and getting it done without fuss, collecting honey or nectar, whatever they do. Yeah, that's it. Just describing a spring day, I suppose. But a nice way of doing it. Makes you smile on the inside when you hear that. So it said something else that struck me. Industrial Brooklyn. Oh, there we go, just before. So when it says the flap of sandals against the pavement, how would you explain that in other words, maybe? Could you put that into other words?
yeah,
Like just explain it, perhaps?
yeah, I think she wants to describe the change of sounds of people walking, because in winter we
Mm,
use maybe boots or shoes,
mm,
and in summer
yes,
we use flip-flops or sandals or other
yeah,
kind of
that's it.
mm,
And
shoes.
so what is pavement?
Oh, pavement is the, how to say, the pedestrian walk, or
Yes, that's
yeah,
it. Yeah.
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk, yeah, that's it. So the Americans also say sidewalk. That's it. That's it. Normally, I would say the Americans say sidewalk, and it's the British who say pavement. So it's a bit odd to hear pavement in America, but I guess she's being inventive using interesting words. Um, oh, I think when you said it, didn't sound quite, didn't quite there, but I think you're saying it okay now, so it's not really a problem, is it? And there was another word. It was a couple of other words. So it was the word at the very beginning somewhere. I think it was up here. This word just you hesitate a little bit. So just want to say it again, just for practice.
yeah, earth,
Earth. Yes,
earth,
earth. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
yeah,
So sort of starting with an and putting a th sound on the end of it, and squeezing an r, perhaps an r in there, I suppose. No, I'm not really. No, it's just earth. So this is just looks like ear, doesn't it? But we're really saying then th on the end of it. And there was that word there, I think. I think that word just didn't quite sound right, that one there.
is snaking or snacking,
Yeah, it's
probably.
that last one.
Snacking, yeah, snacking.
Yes. So it's snake.
Yeah, it does not snake, but
Yeah.
snacking.
Yeah. Let me say half a
Mhm.
sentence for you. So the crunch of a bunny snacking on wildflowers. So snacking.
Yeah,
So a snack is a brief meal, something you might
yeah.
quickly eat in just about a minute, maybe a chocolate bar or something, or a bag of crisps. That's a sort of classic snack, and snacking is doing that. Okay, that's good. I think that was it really. There's nothing else. I think that was it. Just debuts, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. So, and this one again down here. Do you remember how that was pronounced?
Yeah. Sandra's debut,
Yeah, okay. But there's an S, of course. So yeah, sundress
debut,
debuts. That's it. Yes.
debuts,
Yeah, you've got it.
debuts.
You're best to me. You're better than me, I think. So anything from you, of course, Michael? Do you want to ask about that bit there at all? So I can't really think of anything else there. I should ask what are bunnies? What are bunnies, you guys? So that's plural. That is a plural of that. But what are they?
Oh, it's
They were
say
snacking on something.
a bunny says, mm,
We had bears in the next paragraph, so it's sort of an animal, I guess, and they're eating wild flowers. Shall I tell you?
Yeah,
Any
yeah, I know, but is it
Y-
a jumping animal in the
Yes, yes, that you've got
countryside
it. You've got it.
and
Yes, that's
eating
in.
carrots in general?
Yes, yes, you've
It's
got it.
kind
You've
of
got it.
rabbit, I think.
It is a rat. It's basically a rabbit. So this is sort of a cuddly name for a rabbit. Children might say bunny rabbits. Bunny rabbits. Do you know? I don't know why they say bunny. I do not know why they say that. It's just a childish name for them. Sounds very sweet, but that's what they say. And the same for bunnies. And I'm sure somewhere in London there's a bunny park. Bunny park, and it's just obviously just rabbits. And they're very cute, of course. Furry and whatever. So let's scroll on then. So thank you very much, Giuseppe. So it's over
Thank
to
you, Tony.
Michael. So we did the hibernate. Just started talking about hibernation, I think, haven't we? So I'm too high there. It's very,
So,
very hard.
could I ask a question
Yeah, yeah.
about bare land? Does it mean it's rural area, or is it mean this bare land? It's wood forest where is barely bear living.
I thought you said Berlin.
No, no,
You mean
bear country,
Bear
bear country.
Country?
Yeah,
Um, so
is it?
Brooklyn is right in the middle of the city. It's there's no place for bears there unless there's a
Yeah,
zoo. Unless there's a zoo, and I don't think there's a zoo in Brooklyn. It has at times been quite run down in places, but I think it's a bit more sort of bit better now. But bear country, so the bears are those grizzly big animals
yeah,
which are often black or brown. And as I say, there's a polar bear version. It's basically the same thing, but it's white. It's basically the same thing. But the black and the brown live in somewhere in Canada and in the woody states, so where there's trees or forest, and where there's hills and mountains. They don't tend to live in the hotter ones in the south, but more in the north. But and again, not in the cities, but also in Canada too. Pretty much all of Canada, I think they're in. Does that make any sense?
yeah. It's mean the area where the
Quarter of the
bear live.
country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not city.
yeah, not the city, but they do from time to time occasionally go into small outlying towns or the very edges of city and sort of break into dustbins looking for food, that sort of thing. But you lock your door if you do see them or run away or something. Well, I don't think I think you're actually not meant to run away because if they see you running, they run after you. So you meant to stand your ground, I think, or something. But I don't know what I would do. We can discuss that later. So, but that's America. We're not. We do have bears do we have bears in Europe somewhere? I don't really know, you know. Are there bears in Ukraine or in Italy or Germany? Do we know?
Ukraine, it's small amount in the
Hmm.
Carpathian Mountains. It's more uh, in the Czech Republic Carpathians. Uh, yeah, it's not grizzly, but it's I don't know
Hmm.
brown bear.
Maybe a
Brown
brown
bear.
bear.
It's smaller than grizzly, but yeah, I
Hmm.
think in in Carpathian Mountains they live
Yeah.
in Carpathian Mountains.
Hmm.
But in Ukrainian part of Carpathian Mountains, it's very rare.
Oh, they're still
You,
quite rare. Oh, okay. And they
yeah,
hibernate in the caves in the winter, do they? They hibernate? Because the very first word is hibernate here. So, do your
yeah.
bears hibernate? They must do. I think all bears hibernate, don't they? Apart from the polar bears, I'm not sure. Okay, so whenever you're ready, maybe.
Okay. Hibernation isn't sleep. It's a mastery of evolution, a collection of advanced adaptations and seemingly miraculous uh, physiological strategies that allow so many creatures to burrow underground for months without food or water and still look like they're fuzzy, glorious selves at the totter out of their deaths. After hearty shake, the animals are rested and ready for action with healthy, shiny fur coats at that. But, however wondrous and exotic the ritual seems, hibernation is a challenging concept when you really get to thinking about it. What if humans were just as in tune? What if humans were just as in tune with our bodies? Would it work out for us? What if we followed our bodily cues as attentively as bears and other animals do? It took me a long time to learn I am a body. In a society that splits the mind as separate from the body, I question my own desires and needs as they arise. I even distrust them, commanding them to keep quiet so I can function normally in this culture that has so many ways to hide bodily requirements. Requirements.
Great. Well done. Very little for me to say there once again. So anything you want to talk about there or ask about or anything interesting struck you?
Miraculous
Yeah,
physiological strategies.
yeah, that's pretty
Miraculous.
good. Where was it? Beginning some, wasn't it? Miraculous.
S-
Yeah,
uh,
that's
s-
good. Yeah, you stopped at that word because I mix up sort of psychological and physiological sometimes. So yeah, so miraculous physiological strategies. Miraculous physiological. That's it.
uh,
Physiological. Yeah.
critters,
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty good. So critters,
critters,
critters.
critters,
So,
creatures,
yeah, that's
creatures. It should
kind
be.
of what it means, or animals. Yeah, that's it. Sort of create. I think it probably comes from creatures, but if you ask an American, they say little animals. But I suppose I tend to think being little animals, but it could be any kind of animal. So it could be a bear as well as anything else, I suppose. That's it.
And then the next, burrow.
So yeah, burrow. So something that a little creature or critter that digs in the ground, it's burrowing. So a burrow is a hole the creature's made in the ground to sleep in. So a bunny
It's it
rabbit, they
it's
make little holes that make warrens, don't they? Rabbit warrens, them to sleep in underground for protection, etc. That's a
the
burrow.
cinema, synonym of burrow. It's dense. It's a dense, isn't it?
It's
Burrow and dense. Dense. It's
dense.
also dense.
Oh, den. Yeah. Well, it did say den somewhere, didn't it? I think. Yeah, but yeah, den. So den. That's it. So a burrow and a den. There is a similarity, but I think with a den, a bear has a den, and children might make a den. But are they necessarily underground? I suppose a cave could be underground. Let's just stick den in there. See if it says underground in the dictionary. A burrow is by nature underground. So yeah, a den is the home of certain types of wild creatures as lions or foxes. So I think there's a degree it could be underground, but I don't tend to think of lions living underground necessarily. So a den could just be a couple of dead trees that have fallen down on the ground. There's sort of like a bit of shelter. You can't be attacked from behind, maybe from the animal's point of view. So your den, also a human's den, might be the quiet room in your house where you go to study. That's very much a US kind of a thing. The US love having dens. A secret place where people meet. Yeah, that's true. That could also be a den for usually for dishonest purposes. So slightly criminal. There's a few different sort of ways it gets used. Tends to be a little bit illegal. It could be underground den, but it's not necessarily in the meaning of the word, or it doesn't carry that idea necessarily. But it could be underground. But a burrow is definitely underground because if you see someone burrowing, it means they're digging a hole. To burrow means to dig a hole in the ground, basically. So it's the same word, effectively. Sort of takes so long. Anything else?
Yes, yes. What does it mean? Hard to shake
Uh,
after.
yes, yes. Um, I think all of this little bit here, actually, probably from perhaps it might know from. I think all of this bit here is really talking about the bear waking up in springtime, I guess, and coming out of its den or its burrow, wherever it lives, and sort of waking up after its hibernation. So all of these things are describing that in a sort of relatively sort of poetic language. And I do think this is what they do. I think at some point they shake themselves. They shake their body from side to side, like we might do occasionally. If you've got dust on your body, you might shake yourself down a little bit. And when it says hearty, that means whole. That means sort of a complete, a strong shakedown. Hearty, not a partial one or just a very slight one, but a full, complete one, sort of a thing. When you say hearty, lots of energy involved in it. Let's just pop it in the dictionary. I don't use it very often, that word, so let's see how they describe it. Hearty appetite, hearty breakfast, hearty congratulations. So hearty people, this is a hearty action, isn't it? But it's interesting, it's hearty, it's loud, cheerful, energetic. So hearty feelings, opinions are strongly felt. So it's not sort of a minor thing or small or in the background. So it does say wholehearted. That might be the meaning we're looking for. Wholehearted, sincere. A hearty meal is large and very satisfying. So lots of little. So it's not a minor thing. It's complete and full, and that's the idea of the meaning. I think there we go. Okay. Anything else there? I think there's the odd word they spell differently, but from the English, but it's the same meaning, of course. Generally, all these words. How about that word there? Do you have an idea of that meaning? So I think there's another one of the words describing the bear as it's waking up after hibernation. So what would you take that word to mean?
But I think it's mean go out from the
Uh,
dance.
hmm.
Yes.
Um, so really, this word it's describing how they're going out. So you could actually miss that word out, and it would still have the same sort of roughly the same meaning, really. So if you totter, it really means you are walking, but you're slightly unsteady on your feet. So as if maybe you're a little bit drunk. You perhaps you over wobble from side to side, and you wouldn't fall over, but it might look to someone else as if you might fall over in a little while. And actually, young children, as they're learning to walk, they're called toddlers. Toddlers. So there's an S on the end of that. Toddlers. And as a 2 years old or something, it might be called a toddler because they sort of
So,
they're not very sure how they're walking. They almost look like they're going to fall over any minute. Toddling around. That's it. That's it.
but
Yeah.
the young kids, it's called toddler.
Yes. Yes. You're right. Yes. Toddler. Yeah. So let's pop in the dictionary, see what they've got to say for themselves up here. I think they come from the same sort of root sort of thing. Totting around and toddler. Okay, so if someone toddles somewhere, they walk there in an unsteady way. That's a good way of putting it. Unsteady, for an example, if they're ill or drunk, which is exactly what we just said. That's a verb, of course. Just says tottering. I can't see anything else. Stumbling. This comes from stagger, Dutch stagger. So if we take out the T's, and change them to D's. Oh, that's not quite what I meant, really. Yeah, that's what I meant there. So toddler. I've just clicked on that. Nothing's happening. It's Okay, so a toddler is a young child who has only just learned to walk or who is still unsteady. Small steps, small quick steps. No, I'm wasting your time, I think. No. I don't know what to take and make of that. It doesn't really say, it doesn't really help us there. So
Have
yeah.
you ever have you ever
Mm.
watched the movie Some Like It Hot, starred by Marilyn
Yes.
Monroe and Tony Curtis? And yeah, there is a scene where Tony and the other one is Jack Lemmon were tottering on high heels,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, that's a great, yes, tottering, yeah.
yeah.
So these are two men in the film who are acting as ladies because they're trying to because they're trying to hide from criminals. I think they're trying to kill them, and they're dressed up as ladies. Two men are, and you wouldn't know from looking at them, but they don't really. But they're also wearing the lady shoes with a high heel on the back. Now, I've never tried to walk in ladies' high heels, but I'm told it's very difficult, and you do wobble on your feet because you're walking on a very small point. The heel, it comes down to a very small point, often with the ladies' shoes. Back in those days, they were anyway. Yes, I remember that very well. So that's very good. Anything else at all there? We're halfway through this little bit here, aren't we? Anything else?
Use or cues. It's a second paragraph. It's
Mm.
a stressed word.
Oh,
Bodily cues or cues. Cues.
yeah. So cues.
Cues.
So a cue is a signal or a sign of some sort. Um, in the theatre, they talk about giving each other cues when to do things. An actor might say, "When is my cue that I have to say this line?" So there's a signal that the actor has to give his line in the play. So it's a signal or a sign. That's it, a cue. So bodily cues as attentively as bears and other animals do. So what if we followed our bodily cues as attentively as bears and other animals do? I guess maybe it's talking about the hibernation. So maybe we should go to bed as soon as we feel tired, or go into some sort of hibernation, maybe she's referring to. So bodily cues. So if I got tired, that'd be the cue for me to go to bed, or brush my teeth and go to bed, maybe. Anything else?
Uh, Interesting sentence structure of sentence.
Yeah,
It took
she's a writer and she's trying to make it interesting, and she's achieved it. I think it's good.
it took me a long time to learn I'm a body. It's
Mm.
she studied her body.
Mm.
She studied her body.
Yes.
Or,
But she then goes on to say, that's it, yes, you're exactly right. But then goes on to say, but society splits the mind as separate from the body. So I suppose maybe I don't know exactly, but maybe her society emphasizes the spirit a lot more than the body. And maybe you can't really say, I feel in my, I don't know, perhaps you can say that. Maybe she doesn't feel her spirit, she only feels her body. So yeah, there's a meaning there, but I don't want to put words into her mouth as such. I am a body too, of course. It's an interesting way of putting things. And when you're saying body, I think you're a little bit. So I think the first time you said it was a little bit out, and then you corrected yourself and said body. Yeah, that we normally say it as body. That's it. So I think it said more like boo, not booty, but boo. But yeah, you've got it
body,
now. So
body,
body. That's it.
body,
Body. That's
body,
it. Yeah.
body. It's a friend.
So there's sort of like, slight, it's almost like a slight gap. Body, body. And I think you're rushing it too much, maybe. So there's a very slight gap in between these two sort of syllables. Body, body,
Body.
body. Yeah, body. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's great. Body. So there's this word here. I noted. I think you
Who?
almost. I think this came up previously. I can't think who it was now. So let me say it for you. Fur, fur.
Uh, uh,
Um, I think the word that came up previously was this word actually. So that's putting another R and a Y there. So this one is furry, furry down the bottom. Which one was furry?
furry.
Oh, that's
Furry.
better. That's better actually. That's better than your fur actually. So a furry animal. We often talk about furry. Cats have furry bodies, don't they? Furry. And maybe go back to this one. So fur, fur.
Uh,
Oh,
uh,
that's getting better. You're rushing it slightly. So maybe a sentence. Let's make it into a sentence. So my cat, whoops, has lovely fur. So my cat has lovely fur. That's all I can think of. So over to you. My cat has lovely fur.
my cat has lovely fur.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You're sort of just about 80% there, maybe 79%. So yeah, fur. We'll come back to that one maybe. Yeah, that's it. Anything else at all? We did burrow and critter. Totter, dens. I can't think of anything. I think you've already said everything, really. I was thinking about it. There was that word there. So can you say those few words there? There's those 3 or 4 words there again.
I even distrust them.
Yeah, that's it. You've got it. Yeah. When you originally said that word, it just a little bit out, but I guess you've got it. Really, that's it. So distrust, distrust, distrust.
Distrust.
That's it.
Distrust.
That's right. Then the first time you sort of missed out the T a little bit. So yeah, that's great. Izzy, I do lots of mistakes like that all the time. And in the middle there, we have the word. Let's actually use it here on the screen. So this word here. So how would you say that word lined up in green there?
Tune.
And again?
Tune.
So I think the Americans say it that way. So it's weird, really. So with that word there, the Brits tend to say tune. Do we say tune? I don't know what we say
Tune.
now. Hang on a second.
Tune.
Tune. Yeah, tune. But you could almost say tune. I sort of made up this spelling here. Tune, tune. So it obviously starts with a T, but really the sound we're making is like a C, a CH, I guess. Tune, ch. That's what we're really saying, I think. But the Americans do say tune, tune. So they more say something like this, like this. This isn't a real word again, like cartoon. So they say something like that. I personally I say tune, I suppose, but it's a bit naughty. Most Brits say tune. So try another word, tune. So another one might be you. So the Americans say tube. Americans say tube. So YouTube. That's what the Americans say. But the Brits would say oob, I guess. YouTube, something like this. I'm making up the spelling, of course. So the Brits say so they make it this, but we don't always say when there's a T at the beginning of the front of a word, we don't always say ch. And these are two examples where it's tu. So I suppose that does tend to mean where it's a tu, we end up saying ch at the beginning, just because it's easy. We think it's easier, I think, in some sense, but it isn't really, is it? So in a sense, you could say the Americans are more faithful to the English language, and the Brits aren't really that faithful to English language. Their way of saying tune is more honest, I think, or tube. But it does sound very American when you say it that way. So how do you think you're going to say it? I mean, I'll leave it to you, right? Because we're doing English, really, aren't we? So English. So you should say really tube, tune. I'm getting confused.
Two.
Tune. Yeah. So it's a T, but we say ch. Tune. Tune.
Two.
Tune. Yeah, and so just like the month, there's the month June, June. That's how we say June, like that. But this is in this case we're sticking a ch in front of it, then a une, tune. I'm making up the spelling, of course, but I don't know if that helps really. So I'm saying this my spelling here says tune, so ch and then oon, maybe. So I'll leave you to work that one out. I liked how you spotted that though. Well done. That's it really. There was concept. This word here. Maybe we could just finish on this one here. These last two words here. Just saying those two C words, perhaps.
Challenging concept.
That's it. Yes, challenging concept. Yeah. So I think we are saying the C, the P, and the T. So concept. I would say. So let's pop in the dictionary just so they confirm. Concept. Concept album. So sometimes in music you have a concept album. So let's listen to how they say it.
concept,
Sept, concept. So yeah. A concept is an idea or an abstract principle, an idea, really. Okay. A good reading, well done. So anything you spotted there, Giuseppe? Was that little you want to ask about or anything?
No, I think we explain almost everything. So
Yeah. We
thank
killed
you.
that one, didn't we, I think? So have you got time to read another paragraph or two, guys? It's not even 7 o'clock in London yet, so I think we've got some time. So if we just rush on a little bit, that's okay, Michael. So maybe if you read this one, Giuseppe, this one
Okay.
here, if you've got
Okay,
time.
thank you.
Okay.
In most of contemporary society, we are practically forced to disembody if we want to have any chance at fitting in, keeping a job, getting accepted, even being seen as fully human. It's so outrageous, yet somehow normal, that grocery stores sell hunger-reducing gum and Ozempic Ozempic is easily accessible so that our bodies can tell us when to eat, and absurd that we follow a labor schedule that was created for machines, and so upsetting that things like periods and panic attacks are seen as pesky hindrances to be hidden and worked through rather than honored with rest and support.
Yeah, that's fine. Interesting point. Good. Anything you want to ask about there at all?
Yes, strike to are seen as pesky hydrances or I don't know. Yeah.
Pesky is very American, I think. That's it. So pesky, something small and annoying. You might call a little mosquito a pesky thing, something small and annoying, normally. And this word here too, did you think?
Yeah.
So this is you must pronounce this H. So hindrance or hindrances.
Hindrances. Okay, thank you.
So a hindrance is something that gets in the way. So if I have a limp, That's a hindrance, you might say, or a broken door. That's probably the dictionary. Something that stops you from doing something. So a hindrance is a person or thing that makes it more difficult for you to do something. The higher rates have been a hindrance to the economic recovery. So obstacle, check, bar, block. Bar, interesting. So a bar is another way of saying a block. If you bar something, you're blocking something. Hindrance is the act of hindering. Yeah. Okay. Let's do pesky. Bit of an Americanism, I would say. Have I spelled it correctly? I think so. Pesky. A little bit of Americanism. Let's see if we got it. We have it there. So means irritating. Yeah, so very simple. Let's go to the American. Got something slightly different there, maybe. Annoying, disagreeable, troublesome. Slightly stronger. Okay, that's that. Anything else there? Perfect pronunciation.
Yeah, and it's another drug we oh, we will have to know more in the future. But in the US, it is widely accepted and sold almost everywhere. And yeah,
Available, yeah.
yeah,
Widely available, that's it.
yeah, yeah.
But I imagine you still have to go to the doctor to have it prescribed. You can't just go into the pharmacist or the chemist and pay for it, can you? Over the counter
Yeah, I
in
think
America?
they can buy that
Really?
way, or they have lots of mm, similar drugs and
Ah, yeah.
yeah,
Other
yeah,
brand names that do the same thing.
yeah. But I think sometimes also mm, companies.
Hmm. Pharmaceutical companies, you mean?
Yeah, pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, the most of or great part of American people are overweight or obese,
Yes.
so they have to tackle the situation, and yeah. Uh, uh, we don't know if the problem is the beginning, or drugs are created before the problem. So,
Mm.
but in this case, they are trying to tackle this problem, and Ozempic is it could be a solution. But there are lots of new ideas about this drug, from as potential hypothetical addiction, and also to not regular assumption, but kind of split assumption, low doses, and there are lots of every month there is something new about this drug.
Because it is so new. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But for example, in Italy, right now we have the first advice about this drug, but I think we are almost 2 or 3 years back compared to the US. So probably in Europe we are more cautious about these drugs, and yeah. But among obese population and diabetics, it is quite it's widespread in the US. Yeah, here in Italy we have lots of hunger reducing substances, or gums,
Really?
or
That you can buy in the shops. I could buy them there, maybe.
yeah, they are
Really?
kind of mix of maybe herbs or other substances that when you ingest them, and they are very overhydrated in the stomach, so you
They absorb water, you mean?
yeah. So
Okay.
you have a feeling of
Fullness.
fullness. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I've got you. Yes. So, so it's something small you eat, and it somehow has the effect when you've eaten it to give the effect you've eaten a great deal more, and it reduces your desire to eat because you feel full in your stomach somehow.
To be very honest, I don't know the role of gums in this kind of substances, because the more you chew, the more your stomach secretes maybe substances we use to digest food. So I don't know how gums specifically work, but yeah, probably Michael knows more than me about hunger reducing gum, and I have no experience with that.
I don't believe in it. It's my opinion. It's marketing. It's good marketing. People try to find the easiest way to lose their weight, and they're ready to buy everything. But because change your lifestyle, change your life, it's far more harder than buy some drugs or some gum. Because it's a story when Ozempic costs in United States, it's far more expensive than in Europe. For example, in Germany, it's 100 of euros. For example, in Germany, in America, it's 1,000.
Oh,
It's they have a problem. They have protests because it's very speculated.
Yeah, so what 130 pounds, 20 pounds. I don't know how much, of course, you're getting there. 5.99 pre-owned. Also magazine, sorry. Oh, Rempico, that's a drink.
Yeah, the problem is Ozempic is used more for also in the US, but in Europe more for cosmetic use than for therapeutic use. So when you want to become maybe skinner or
Skinnier.
skinnier, you
To
try
fit into your swimming costume in the summertime.
exactly, and
I'm susceptible to that as well. Not that I go swimming that often. Thinking about, just noticed that word there, and I think it slipped out slightly unusually. Do you want to give one more go? That one there.
I try. It's outrageous.
Pretty much, almost. So outrageous.
Outrageous.
That's it.
Outrageous.
Okay. So we're talking about Ozempic. We could say that they have outrageous prices for Ozempic, which means they're just too much, too great. But someone might do something that's outrageous at a party, maybe. They may shout, scream, or dance on the tables, maybe. That might be outrageous. Something unexpected, something they shouldn't really do, but not illegal, but they'll be known for it, sort of thing. Outrageous. Shocking, something that's shocking, perhaps. Outrageous accusation, outrageous behavior. That's the most common one, I would say. So if you describe something as outrageous, you are emphasizing that it's unacceptable or very shocking. I think of it being very shocking more than unacceptable, really. But yes, I suppose it is true to say unacceptable. So atrocious, that's another good word. Atrocious, shocking, terrible, Violent. Yeah, I suppose it could be out. It could be violent too. I suppose, possibly. Outrageous violence, you might say. Okay, there we are. But here it just means something that's shocking rather than sort of violent or anything like that. So it's actually thinking, Michael. You just had a go, Giuseppe. Is it okay if you have another go, Michael? Maybe these two paragraphs here,
Okay.
perhaps. Okay.
Something I love about animals is that you never have to tell an animal, be yourself. They know no other way to be. Animals go to the bathroom, reject unwanted affection, gobble food, sleep for hours, and bite their toenails without a moment of hesitation or a shameful glance around to see if anyone's looking. The messages between their furry bodies and their brains don't go through any filtering system, though an action are practically one and the same. Hungry, eat, tired. Oh no. Hungry, eat, tired, rest, curious, explore.
Yes, that was good. Yes, you got that. That's good. Yes.
Uh,
Eh,
animals, a- animals, animals have mastered embodiment, the experience of being a body rather than having a body. They don't separate their physical self as an unruly unruly object to control, argue with, be proud of, or disdain.
Very true, of course. So are you okay with that word? Would you say?
I don't know, unruly,
Yeah, pretty almost unruly, unruly.
unruly, rule,
Yeah.
rules,
Yeah,
unruly.
that's it. Yes, cannot be ruled, or it's not obeying the rules of the road, maybe, or the rules of life, I guess in this case, or how animals are meant to act, or how people are meant to act. I guess that's it. Anything else there that's worth
This,
look? Mm.
yes, uh, disdain.
That's pretty much
Uh,
how you say it, yes. Yeah, let's disdain. So. Um, if someone's doing something outrageous, you may show disdain. So if you feel disdain for someone, let's listen to how they say it first of all.
disdain,
Disdain, a strange word, isn't it? So if you feel disdain for someone or something, you dislike them because you think they are inferior or unimportant. Yeah, I suppose so. That's true. Yes. Contempt, dislike, scorn, arrogance. If you disdain someone or something, you just disregard. Sorry, you regard them with disdain. That's right. Yeah. You often say that as a phrase. I regarded him with disdain. That's a bit of a phrase. Okay. So if you disdain to do something, you do not do it because you feel that you are too important to do it. There we go. It's interesting. So a little bit this idea of I'm better than this, or they're lower than me, or I'm better than them in that word. So I suppose you might say the animal doesn't feel disdain. I think that's what they're saying.
yes.
They don't separate their physical self as an unruly object to control, argue with, be proud of, or disdain. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're quite happy with what they are. What we imagine. Anything else there? How about that word?
Gobble.
Yeah. Do you know the meaning? Are you happy with that word or
I don't know what does it mean.
gobble? So it really means to eat food, but in perhaps a noisy way. Be slightly noisy, perhaps as an animal would do it, I guess, or a child might do it. Something like that, maybe.
Oh, yes.
To be slightly disgusting. Yeah, that was a good read. Oh, I think when you got there, I think you sort of didn't see the T on the end, and I think it said though, and of course it's thought. It's thought.
Yes, I said though. Though.
Yeah, though. Yeah, though is the other one. Yeah.
Thought and action.
So, yes, thought and action. That's it.
Thought and action.
That's it. Thought and action. I think maybe when you said this, I think you said Lou King, something like that. Lou Kin, actually. So I think I'd say for it. So I'd say looking. Just
Looking.
yeah. And maybe you say it too fast there. The first time you said it a little bit too slow, you sort of split up the syllables a little bit. And the last time perhaps a bit too fast. So looking, and I guess you're missing out the ng bit. So that we'll do that next time you come along, maybe. So do you want to do once or twice more? So looking.
Looking. Looking.
Yeah, that's it. I think you
Look.
got it there. Yeah, your first one there was perfect. That's it. That's really good. Yeah, you got that. I don't think we had talked about fuzzy before. So, what does fuzzy mean? What do you think fuzzy just sort of says? Is it a noun or a verb, maybe?
Maybe it's an adjective. It's like
Mm.
with fur.
Y-
With fur.
It does
Fuzzy.
imply that. Yeah. I think often it is to do with fur. Let's just see what they
I
say
think
here.
because sometimes fuzzy, it's like fade. It's like foggy. Yeah, but in
Yeah,
this bit, it's like
yeah.
hard, furry, furry.
So they're saying fuzzy hair sticks up, so it's hair. Something is fuzzy. It might be covered. It has a covering that feels soft like fur. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I'm not don't hear that very often, I guess. A fuzzy picture, so a picture might be a bit blurred, I guess, hard to see. They're all adjectives, of course. If you or your thoughts are fuzzy, you are confused and cannot think clearly, or maybe just that's a long time ago. You describe something as fuzzy when it is vague. Oh, that's the same meaning I gave to that one there. It is vague and not clearly defined. Yeah, that's right. Fuzzy outline of something, you may say. Fuzzy logic. This is a bit of a newer one, I think. Fuzzy logic is a type of computer logic that is supposed to imitate the way that humans think, for example, by adapting to changing circumstances rather than always following the same procedure. So appliances that use fuzzy logic to mimic the way a person would do their job manually. Research on fuzzy systems. Yeah, interesting. Quite a few different meanings, but it's all connected though, aren't they? It did say something was furry, it could be fuzzy, didn't it? Yeah. Sometimes ladies talk about their hair being fuzzy. But I suppose fuzzy bodies, it's kind of the same idea, isn't it? But it's fur. I think you're right there, yeah. Because normally most animals have a sort of a fur on them, don't they? Some sort of fur. Anything else? I think we've done that to death through that one, haven't we? I can't think of anything else. All I
Yeah,
really noticed was looking and the thought. That's really all I saw, really.
I don't know. It's correct. Embodiment. Embodiment.
Yeah, I think when you said it, I think that you sound very confident when you said it. Yeah, that's spot on. Embodiment. Embodiment. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well done. So often you talk about something being the embodiment of something else. So I might be the embodiment of, I don't know, of some long dead person. So something being made into reality, maybe something like that, or some long gone person is the embodiment of something else, or the embodiment of honor, or the embodiment of glory, or something. If you say that someone or something is the embodiment of, a quality or idea, you mean that that is the most noticeable characteristic or the basis of all they do. A baby is the embodiment of vulnerability. That's interesting putting it, yes. Personification, example, model, type. Embodiment, that's it. So given body to something, you could say. Given body to something. You might think of it that way. Um, just says, yeah, embody and meant. Came from the 1820s, according to this. Interesting. Very embodiment. Oh, the very embodiment. That's another way of using it, I suppose. Right. So really, the article seems to be talking about. It mentions Plato there. We had Plato come out last time, didn't it? So I think it said Plato last time, but it's Plato. That's in the next paragraph. Any comments about this little article here? I see there's any more photos lower down. We're 20 minutes past the hour now. Oh, this seems to be her book, I think. How to Be a Living Thing. Remember she said about, it took me a long time to realize that I was a body, I think she said. That was the idea it had. So meditations on intuitive oysters, interesting, hopeful doves, and being a human in the world. Mari Andrew. Random House book. And so there we can see a bunny rabbit. That looks like a bull, and perhaps a chicken and a cock, maybe, I don't know which. So lots of little animals, how the animals are so normal and humans are so screwed up. So in
Yeah.
your work, do you sort of see this at all? Do you see the sort of the duality of humans? Or do you think humans aren't really two separate things? So I think
Human,
oh, yeah, go on.
humans are also animals. We are, if if we look to taxonomification
Mm.
of biological
Taxonomy. Mm.
taxonomy, yeah, we are also
Mm.
animals. So, but and we not should we have to live and here here in our body, but modern world try to uh, change this. We try to live in on high speed.
Yeah.
Try yes, and when we have some, for example, some headache or some disorders, we took pills.
Mm. Take pills.
Again,
Yeah. Yeah.
take pills again. For example, take a rest, we take a pill, or try to buy some drugs like Ozempic,
Mm.
but
For a quick solution. Yeah.
for quick solution, yes, because
Yeah.
modern world demanded this quick solution because we have to run. But like my father said, we it's not my father. It's also like maybe some philosophical thought. We all uh, we all runs whole our life from birth to death. And if you run fast, you faster reach the end. So
Yeah.
be quiet, be slow, and enjoy your life and
Mm.
live. But like I said, it's a modern world, uh,
Mm.
high speed, uh, fast internet, 4G, 5G, and yeah,
Mm. So your message would be to slow down, do you think?
slow
Interesting.
down and here try to listen your body.
Ah.
Uh,
Mm.
listen your body, and if you have a headache, if you have some disorders, change your lifestyle. Look at your
Right.
lifestyle and try to find try to find out what are you doing wrong. What is cause of your disorders of your cause. So what? So I have the same opinion with Mary Andrew, who wrote down this, who wrote this article. We should listen our body.
And be in tune with our body. Yeah, that's what she's saying, isn't it? Yeah, be aware of our bodies. Don't ignore it. Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, it's very true. So I think your phrase was listen to your body. Listen to your body. That's right. I think you said that. That's good. Any comments, Giuseppe? Agreement or disagreement there?
Yeah. I think in this moment of our history, we can't go back to the past. We can't live in the ancestral way we used to live. So, but I think this moment, yeah, for most of us, life is a rush, as Michael said, and for many is kind of focusing on body, for others is focusing on psyche. But I think we need to be more balanced. So the old saying, mens sana in corpore sano. So it's healthy body in a healthy mind is also today something acceptable and also achievable if we want. But if we think to our body, if we want to be so slim and just to appear something different, maybe avoiding food or using drugs that have a completely different use, probably we are on the wrong way. So yeah, I think Michael spotted on, and yeah, the most we rush, probably the most we pay something in terms of happy life or good life.
I think you said there at one point, you said Michael was spot on.
Spot on, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very common saying that people use in English. Yeah, spot on. So exactly correct, that would mean. That's it. I agree exactly. So it's almost 1/2 past the hour. So I think maybe we'll call it a day there.
Okay.
So
Great.
Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Tony.
see you Wednesday if you can make it, hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.